Hello boys and girls, and welcome to my YouTube channel once more. I know it has been some months since I did a video, very long time it would seem. Kind of in a holding pattern, I guess, where inspiration is concerned. Waiting for the Lord and Lady to give me another download, as it were. So today's video, it's sort of a bone of contention with me, and that is this idea that many people have regarding worship of deity and that versus being in a coven or a group setting as opposed to being in solitary and solo practice. Many are under what I consider to be a false notion that somehow being in a group is going to take away from their individuality, or it's going to take away from how they feel toward their deity, or it's going to, as one person put it recently, they said it's going to, or rather being in a solo setting, be by themselves, allows them more intimacy with their deity, and they feel like they're, in a group. Some people have said to me this. They've said that when they're in a group setting, they feel, or they don't want to feel so much like they're doing the structure of it and the setup and preparation. Some people think that all that is going to distract them from worshiping the deity. So they turn away from all that structure and all the practice itself, the ritual, ceremonial stuff. They turn away from it because somehow they're under this false notion that it's going to take away from their individual feeling of how they feel toward their deity. I guess what I want to do is sort of expound on that point and kind of clarify, or hope to clarify, the group setting versus being solitary. I'm going to be very blunt and frank here that with a solo practitioner and being alone, it's all about you at that point, you and your deity. It's just all about you and your deity and how you want to worship it, he, she, or it. It's just all about you, the individual, and it's not about anyone else at that point. Where being in a group setting, in a coven, outside the practice part of it, and you're still got the individuality, and you can still worship deity any way that you want to. But then when you enter into the holy sacred temple of the art, the magic circle, and you enter in there with your coven, it's at that point that your individuality takes on another role. You're now not just concerned with yourself and deity. Now you have to sort of plug in with the coven, with everyone else around you, and join with the group mind to worship deity. Now, does this necessarily take away from how you feel as an individual toward the deity? Is there a difference toward how you feel and how the actual practice goes about, what is expressed in the practice? Is there any difference? I can't answer that for you, I guess. It's up to the person doing it both ways, when they do their solo practice, when they do their group practice. Is there a difference how they feel toward the deity and how they express their feeling? I never did. I never saw a difference myself. How I feel as a solo practitioner is the same as if I feel in the coven. The ideas and concepts are all flowing together as one. I see all the same aspects as anyone else, but on the other hand, I also have my individual perceptions of those aspects, which may differ from other people's perceptions of those same aspects. So, I just wanted to, as I said, I wanted to expand on that and sort of, why, what was it this person said to me the other day? They made it, I don't know, again, and I'm sorry if I'm fighting for words on this subject, But I want to be clear. I don't want to contradict myself or anything like that. But yeah, I was talking to somebody recently about that, and that's what they said. Oh, another point I wanted to make, and this was on another person's video, they were talking about, well, they see pagans, Wiccans, occultists, all doing ritual and ceremony for nothing. This person went into this whole thing about how they see all this ritual stuff going on, and people are just doing the ritual for the sake of ritual, and they're not actually connecting to deity anymore. So that's a good point I wanted to make, that a lot of people, they think that by doing this, all this structure and practice and the building of all that, they think that, you know, you're concentrating far too much on that physical stuff, and it's taken away from the worship of the deity. And again, that's a bone of contention, and I challenge that all of that structure, all of that preparation, the magic circle, that is our worship. That is our expression of love and adoration toward the deity. As the Wicca, ceremonial practitioners, that is how we worship. And these are things that the Lord and Lady have left for us, this knowledge, the rites and ceremonies. They have left that for us to use as a communication with them, to communicate with them. They left us instructions for building that circle of art, for creating the world between the worlds. They left us all that. So, as far as I'm concerned, hey, they left it there. I'm going to use it, yes, as a solo or in a group. We're going to uniquify some of that stuff, you know, of course, according to our individual viewpoints and perceptions. But, again, not to get away from the original point. As far as I'm concerned, I don't see any difference between the practicing alone, practicing in a group. I have to think of a larger picture. I have to think beyond myself as the individual I am. For I now not just live for myself, but I live for my brothers and sisters of the art. I live for the Lord and the Lady. So, you know, my life has taken on a twofold purpose there. So, that again, you know, I have to challenge people, come out of that shell of the individual for a minute. You know, don't feel that it takes away from your intimacy, because now the intimacy is shared in a group mind, in a singular consciousness with many individual aspects. That's the way you have to think when you're curious or wondering about coven work, or maybe you've gotten misconcepted about coven work. Think of it that way, that there is your intimacy. It's shared now in that group mind. It doesn't take away from your intimacy at all. You're now just living that intimacy for a bigger purpose, and not just for you as the individual. Well, that's really all I wanted to say today. Just wanted to get that out, get that off my chest, and help hopefully clarify some things for the solo practitioners out there, and those that feel that you know, being in a group setting somehow robs them of the intimacy. I just wanted to clarify that and make it clear. As always, leave your comments below in the comments section. I will try to address them as I can, as time allows me to. And I hope that wherever you are having a beautiful day or evening. Blessed be, and merry part.